pide ese cuerpo a cuerpo, lista para revolear. Ay, ¿qué será? Y ahí está, pidiendo calor, mojada en sudor. Para no demora, se está acercando la hora, va a empezar la presión. Y ahí está, en alta tensión, cuerpo a cuerpo en tracción. Eso no es decora, simplemente es la cuota, sigue la seducción. No hace falta que modeles.
Hello replayers, this is MisterUltimate and welcome to my latest vlog. Now, sometimes I tend to get a bit verbose, but today I'm going to try to keep this short, so wish me luck. Some of you may have noticed that I haven't posted any new content in a little over a week. Well, the reason for that is twofold. At first it was a simple matter of being a bit under the weather, but as the days went on and I still wasn't able to get any videos done, the situation triggered a bout of depression and anxiety. That in turn made it more difficult to produce content. Now, having depression doesn't carry quite the stigma that it once did, which is why I feel comfortable talking about it with all of you. But I do see that there is still a lot of confusion about what exactly the medical condition of depression is, so I want to clear that up a bit. The short answer is that having depression is not the same as being sad. Sadness is a normal, healthy emotion. Feeling it at times is a good thing. It's a sign that things are valuable and have meaning. Meanwhile, what many don't understand is that for many people who have depression, sadness isn't a symptom. That's because when a doctor says someone has clinical depression, they mean that some of their mental and physical traits are lowered, pressed down, or simply put, depressed. This could be their overall energy level, ability to focus, enthusiasm towards things that they are normally interested in, etc., etc., etc. So that's why the very first thing I want you to take away from this is that depression does not equal sadness, even though that can be a major symptom for some people. So, to get into a longer explanation, instead of trying to define depression with a neat, simple sentence, I'll tell you what medical professionals look for when making a diagnosis. Before a doctor will actually say that a condition is depression, they'll try to identify at least 5 of the following symptoms. A depressed, not necessarily sad, mood during most of the day, particularly in the morning. Fatigue or loss of energy almost every day. Feelings of worthlessness or guilt almost every day. Impaired concentration, indecisiveness. Insomnia, which is an inability to sleep, or hypersomnia, which is excessive sleeping, almost every day. Markedly diminished interest or pleasure in almost all activities nearly every day. Recurring thoughts of death or suicide, not just fearing death. A sense of restlessness or being slowed down. Significant weight loss or weight gain. Now, I'm not giving this list as a tool for self-diagnosis, so if you think you may have depression, please go see a professional. There are ways to get help, and getting the facts about the problem can sometimes make it seem much, much smaller in scale. You'll notice that most of this list doesn't involve sadness, so I hope that drives home that this issue is a little more complicated than thinking happy thoughts. Probably the biggest pet peeve of anyone diagnosed with depression is having someone tell them that they know all about it because they were once sad for a few days, but they snapped out of it by thinking positive and smiling. That's kind of like trying to relate to someone whose tire blew out in the rain on the freeway and it caused a skid to that time your shoelace came undone and you almost tripped. Glad you had the wherewithal to retie it, but it's not really relevant here. So, back to this past week. While I have had bouts of prolonged sadness while dealing with my depression, that's not what this week was about. This week was about motivation and drive. Sure, there were sad moments, but fortunately, I've learned to separate the normal, healthy sad thoughts from the ones that linger, even when I have every reason to be happy. But I digress. You see, for a short while, I felt I'd found my groove with this channel. I was recording regularly, and being comfortable enough with the sound of my own voice was getting easier and easier. My editing was improving, and the overall quality of my videos was increasing. Then I got ill. At first I brushed it off as allergies, but when my voice started to go, I knew I needed to rest and heal up. But while I was getting better, I wasn't making the videos I truly wanted to get back to. The more I learned about the process of editing and the more I was finding my own style, the more I wanted to do it. So I got better physically, but I still couldn't record. I might have the energy and the urge to do it, but one thing or another seemed to get in the way until that urge faded. A cycle of expectancy and disappointment was forming. Very soon my body started to react in those familiar ways. Energy and coordination were slipping. My ability to concentrate was extremely low. I felt anger even when I was focused on happy, positive things. bouts of insomnia when I was absolutely exhausted, signs I've become very familiar with over the years. So here it is over a week later, and I feel like my channel has come to a standstill. I say feel like because I know intellectually that's not true. It's 1 week, and during that week, I've come so close to my first set of milestones that I set for the channel that I'm wondering right now, what can I say to thank everyone for their support? These are goals that I honestly thought would take me at least to the end of October to reach, so I have every reason to be happy about that. And still, the energy isn't there. I'm having trouble convincing my body to be as motivated as I think it should be. I'm having trouble getting my mind to focus on the things I want it to. I'm having trouble being settled enough to sleep at night. It doesn't make any sense, and you know what? That's the worst part of depression. Sometimes it makes no sense. So guys, that's what I'm going through right now. I really apologize for the lack of content, but I also want to thank you for your constant support. It means the world to me. Some of you even take the time to watch, like, and share every video I make. You might think I don't notice, but I do, and I appreciate it so much I can't find the words to say it right now. Don't worry guys, I might be having technical difficulties right now, but I'm not done yet. And until next time, I remain Mr. Ultimate.
Más breve si tú eres caperucita, soy el lobo que te agrede, mami, acéptalo. Para ti la noche es larga, encontraste quien buscabas, aquí está Robert Galarga. Fresh, vamos mami lento pa' ponernos fresh. Pónteme de espalda para hacerte el sex. Suave movimiento con mi hitman flex, así es, come on girl. Solita, sola su cuerpo.